I've been saying this for a long time, but modern science in a couple decades is going to be looking back at human design and the foundation that human design has in neutrinos and be like, what the fuck? How did these guys have this information? If you're into human design, you probably understand type, strategy, authority, all the stuff that is really popular and super helpful for, relating dynamics and discovering your true self and breaking free from conditioning. But what I've been obsessed with recently is the actual foundation of human design. And not a lot of people know this, but Ra talked about neutrinos, codons in the DNA and their connection to the hexagrams, like years before modern science actually came around to proving these things even existed or that these correlations were even there. Guys, we are so early to this whole neutrino party. We're so fucking early. If you're watching this video, you're so early. Don't leave because nobody's here yet. People will come, okay? People will come. There's no one here because you're early. You're early. And here's what I mean. Look at my computer. These are all the different types of ways that they've taken images of the Milky Way. So you've got radio, atomic hydrogen, radio, blah, 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 blah. Optical, this is what we see with our naked eye. You got X-ray and gamma rays. All of these images were generated using light. But check this out. This is the same image, but instead of using light, they're using neutrinos. Look at the date on this. Look at the fucking date. Up until last year, the only photos we had of the Milky Way were because of light. And just last year, we now have a photo that is composed of neutrinos. Now, the reason this is mind-blowing and possibly a revolutionary concept is that, unlike light, neutrinos don't really bounce off of shit. They just go through it. In order to actually track the neutrinos, they had to build this giant well and hang out, I don't know how many thousands of sensors in here. And even out of that, they were barely getting any readings. This is a great video, by the way. This guy, James Riordan, just spends, how long? What is it? An hour talking about neutrinos, not even in a human design context. That's kind of stuff that I'm now talking about and plugging in. Now, in human design, when the neutrino stream passes through us at certain intervals, there's 88 days before your birth, which is where your design crystal and your body and your vehicle are established, and then the moment of birth, those points in time, neutrinos are passing through you in certain configurations, which is going to be your personality and design placements. So the fact that images are now being generated using neutrinos of our galaxy, guys, we're probably like a couple years away from being able to take pictures of this, of us. You know how they have aura photos and stuff? Imagine aura photos, but it's of your human design or of the neutrinos that are moving through you. It's gonna get crazy. Comparatively speaking, modern science is way behind what kind of information we have with human design. Like I said, if you're interested in human design right now, you're ahead of the curve. And I've said it before, people are going to be hiring, choosing mates, choosing government officials. People are going to be basing a lot of their decisions off of neutrinos and the neutrino field and the interactions that we have with them. Now, if you're curious about your human design, go ahead and visit ReikiMarco.com, fill in your information. Once your chart is generated, you're going to have a bunch of information over here. I highly recommend buying one of my reports. I designed them so that you don't have to spend any more money or a bunch of time on the internet trying to figure all this out yourself, because there's a fuck ton of information in here, and this just makes it real easy for you. We are living at such a pivotal time in history right now, guys. So there's something happening in 2027 where basically this whole neutrino stream that's been hitting us for the last 2,000 years, it's going to shift, okay? And it's going to shift away from big governments and infrastructure and taxes and all this stuff, and it's going to shift more towards the individual. And as individuals with human design, we have access to information that a lot of the collective is going to completely ignore, and they're going to be super caught up in the fear. Understanding the way that you interact with neutrinos and the imprints that neutrinos have left on you is literally going to be the determining factor between the people that actually evolve and inherit the coming world and the people that don't even get invitations to the party.